Here we are. Hello, folks. John Shenholzer here at the McShin Foundation. We're another live and wonderful podcast today. Got some really cool people with me today. We got 5 of us here. I'm going to slide out kind of early, but we were discussing who goes first. And I said, well, let's go with the clean time, man. I still like that phrase, believe it or not. For those who don't know me, I'm a person in long-term recovery myself from substance use disorders. I've been clean over 38 years, and I'm certainly not trying to separate anybody who's in a different pathway of recovery. You know, whatever your pathway is, cool by me. I got Patrick, Jordan, and the award-winning Nathan and Alex with me today. This might be the last podcast I'll do, I think, till the next year. So I wanted to give a shout out to the folks in the correctional facilities that listen to this, because you guys might not know, but we got thousands upon thousands of inmates all across America that get these podcasts on tape.
That's cool.
So everything we say and do here, we donate it to the tablet companies that provide services inside institutions, jails, and prisons. And there's actually been data that proves if you're in jail or prison, if you spend most of your time on your tablet listening to educational content, religious content, recovery content, you have a much lower recidivism rate than those that just listen to the old gangbanging stuff and kill him and shoot him and whatever. So, Jordan, next time you get locked up, you might want to keep that in mind.
You know, next time about that.
It ain't going to be next time. Take my word for it. I hope I'm a liar. I hope this is a bad call on my part, but my money's on the disease every time. If I bet the disease every time, I'd be a billionaire. But there's always a few sleepers out there.
Let's be glad you're not a billionaire.
No kidding. Well, that's good, bad, and ugly. Oh, yeah, this is a free-for-all, by the way, fellas. But, Patrick, why don't we go around the horn real quick? You introduce yourself.
All right. My name is Pat J. I'm a person in long-term recovery.
That's
about it.
Long term.
Well, I got 23 months. I consider that long term.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
All right, I stand corrected.
Getting there.
Yeah.
I have not arrived
Pat
yet.
don't smile unless you insult him. Then he'll start smiling when he gives you a good answer that he knows is going to trip you up. That's good call. I like it.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Jordan? You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Quit playing with your vape. Can't get them in Riverside. You can in Riverside.
Nah, not in Riverside.
Pamunkey, you can't get
Chesterfield.
Chesterfield, you get them. So, what you going to say hello?
Yeah, I'm
Speak
Jordan.
up now.
I'm Jordan. I'm an addict, and I'm in long-term recovery.
No, you're not. You're a newcomer. Why you want to lie like that, man?
It's week number 1.
Week number 1. We meant to say he's just a person seeking long-term recovery.
That's what I meant.
You might make it. I think you with the right people.
Yeah.
Pay close attention, all right? Next time you decide to get a neck tattoo, see me, okay? I got some good designs in store for you. Nathan?
Oh, shoot. I mean, I don't know who I am with this crowd, which is what I love. Hey, I'm Nathan. I'm a person in recovery, sustained recovery. I like that one. For me, of course, that means every day I get an opportunity to make a decision to stay clean and sober for one more day. Yeah, and I'm happy to be here too. Happy New Year.
That's exciting. Brian, I see you out there. You must be painting today. Listen to the live podcast. Don't remember, straight lines, okay? And carry that wet rag with you. Jamie, good to see you. Your Facebook post, man, are getting kind of long, buddy. You might want to come back a little bit on us.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that's long. It was like a book.
That's like a recap.
I fell asleep reading it, man. Alex, go ahead.
My name's Alex. I am the medication and drug screen coordinator and CPRS here at the McShin Foundation, and more importantly, a person in recovery from a substance use disorder. Happy to be here. Always happy to be in this room.
Happy to be here.
Every time.
You just had a hiatus.
Yeah.
Right?
I finally got back in the saddle, like I think it was last week. But yeah, we had like a little 2-week. I had a little 2-week.
Yeah, yeah. Back time you had to catch up.
Yeah, I had mandatory minimum time that I had to serve. You know, no one wants to go to jail, but I was grateful that it was only 15 days instead of some dudes who are looking at 15 years.
Yeah, you're damn right.
It's a lot of perspective, for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna be authentic today, gang. We're gonna just be real, be us, be what we do. And maybe a hope shot will come out of this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, Jordan, you're the newest comer in the room, right? You really want to recover?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Is there any sentence or paragraph you could say that would lead us to believe that you really want this way of life? Speak loud so the listeners can hear you now.
I mean, where I was at before I got locked up, it was just like I was sick and tired of the way I was living, and it's not.
You're 22, right? You never really lived as an adult in the community, have you? You never really held a long job. What's the longest you had a job? Now, I'm not talking selling drugs now.
Shit, maybe like a couple months.
A couple months. You're gonna like working at the same place for a while, earning your own money, paying your own bills. You're gonna feel good about yourself. See, I tell everybody all the time, they think that drug high is good and they want to go back to the drug high, but the recovery high, oh my God, is 10 times better than the drug high, and the recovery high gets bigger and bigger and badder as time goes by. So be happy about that. Get excited about the recovery high. You're gonna like the recovery high, man.
I'll tell you what, I get to open up my the little app bank account on my phone and see a green number instead of a red one.
Ooh,
You know what I'm
wow.
saying?
I just got my card. Too.
Yeah. See something without a dash in front of it, man.
I need to get one of them apps.
Yeah, useful.
I know. It won't be so much of the way my phone down with it.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's all electronic. There's no wait to emails and apps and stuff.
Mhm.
Nathan, how about you? You're doing good.
Well, I have a question to follow up for you, Alex. Do you actually pay your cell phone bill on time every month?
I'm on the family plan.
That's insane to me, right? Like my phone doesn't get turned off these days. I don't have to find and chase a Wi-Fi signal just to make a phone call like I used to do in the past.
We got honesty listening.
Oh, we better be
Clean
good.
it up a little
Clean
bit.
up,
Yeah.
no shits. And
Recovery high is the best high ever. Yes, it is. I like the recovery high. You get so high on recovery that you get so excited. You laugh so hard. Some of the weaker bladder controllers, they actually lose a little. You know what I mean?
honesty.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, man.
I recently got a hemorrhoid because of the recovery high.
You got a hemorrhoid high.
Whoa, yeah.
Hemorrhoid high.
Hey, we're getting deep and dirty quick here today, gang. This may not be the award-winning show we were hoping for, but it's gonna be entertaining, that's for sure. Patrick, what are you so happy about?
Man, I'm happy to be clean today. I don't got to be getting shot at or shooting up or
Any of that?
Yeah, my family's in my life. I got a cool house that I'm living in right now with a bunch of guys that I can relate to that feel like family.
Better than a pod, right?
Oh my God,
And
yeah.
no comparison.
No, there really isn't. I mean, I don't got to fight nobody for a TV.
But you don't have to protect your trays, man.
Yeah.
You get real shanks in the recovery house. You don't
Yeah.
get those little black man. I mean, God, I love everything about recovery. Honestly, have to pay bills today and have for food and have money left over. I bet it's the first, well, not the first time, but I pay all my year-end bills this time of year, and to have a little coin left over. That's a good feeling, man. I mean, I like that. I went easy this year on the holidays. I had a budget. I actually stuck by my budget this year, which is hard to do. You'll have a budget one day, Julian. You'll see what I'm talking about. Budgets are good. Trust me.
You know what, John? This is the first time that I've ever bought my son presents.
There you go. That's
First time ever.
That's beautiful.
Good for you, man. I know you feel good about that.
It's a
You
great-
finally made it through Christmas, being
Yeah.
the dad you're supposed to be, man.
Whew. Took some work.
And I bet they broke them within 2 hours, man, or how long. But that's what it's all about, man. Good for you, man. I know that's a great monkey get off your back, man.
For sure.
Because I didn't show up for Christmas really for years until I got in recovery. And I remember my first Christmas in recovery, I was in the Marine Corps in the barracks. I only had a handful of friends. Back then, you give your buddy a pack of cigarettes for Christmas. But my first year back home out of the Marine Corps, I got to bring all my 7 brothers and sisters to present. My parents are present. That I really felt humanity. That was a topic the other night in the meeting online, was humanity, was living the program. And one of the sentences in living the program, IP, is, do you feel part of humanity?
Yeah.
I feel part of humanity, and you just nailed it.
Starting to. I'm getting there.
Feel part of humanity, and I know Nathan, you just rode across country.
Experience to be able to do that and to do it legally. I wasn't escaping anything. I wasn't I was legally able to do it. I got
Wondering which one that you had a warrant in.
right.
Yeah, I see Johnny Fab. You're in Cozumel, Mexico,
Woo!
Johnny. Well, Johnny, last time I was in Cozumel, I got Montezuma revenge. So don't particularly pay for that, Johnny. Don't drink the water. I don't care what they say, man. It ain't safe. Debbie, good to see you on today, man. Oh, we always met. Debbie, we kind of miss you around here, you know. I
In
can't
person,
remember if you
yeah.
were at the board day or not. Yeah.
Yeah, Debbie and Ed were on the show. What?
I saw that. I
last
watched
week.
Yeah, last
I
week.
watched it. It was good.
On Christmas Eve, it was beautiful,
great.
man.
Ed, man, he could be a star, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get Ed and Debbie.
He's a
We
sleeper.
might get them their own show, man.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, the Ed and Debbie hour. I love it. I was looking at Facebook pictures the other day, Debbie, and I saw that picture of Blake on that pony out in Tennessee. Man, I had to laugh, man. Yeah, Johnny, I see you laugh out loud. You definitely got a little beginner Montezuma revenge. I know you do, man. Don't lie about it. What up, gang? How we doing?
Jamie here, Jamie Baker, he's a longtime watcher. He's been on the show too, I think, hasn't he? Jamie says, what made each of you decide to give up control? And I like that because
Give up control.
I
What,
never had
Jamie?
control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the illusion is there, but yeah, there was never really, there was a grasping effort, I think. But man, getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean, I know that you hear that all the fucking time. Or excuse my language. You hear that all the time.
Oh, I just caught on to that.
Yeah.
I thought it was a normal group. Then all of a sudden I realized Patrick can't control.
Yeah, right. There you go. You spend 2 years in a pod. You see what happens.
I know.
They start cussing like a sailor.
Ain't much of a program in that pod, is it?
They're really, yeah, it's not
Where were
existent.
you at?
I started my time at Rappahannock, then I ended up in VPRJ, Virginia Peninsula
Oh,
Regional.
good for you. A little touring.
I did, yeah.
Did a little tour there. Well, John, make sure you follow all directions when you go diving today. And don't touch those electric eels either. Debbie, we miss you too, man. That's for sure. Back to you, Jamie. The first thing in control I had to give up was use it. I couldn't use anything no matter what. I had to surrender to win. And when I realized, the benefits of surrendering that drug use, it made it easier to give up control of other things. But being a man, there's certain things we're just not wired to give up control over, especially if you get married. It's like you fight to the death over simple stuff. I can't explain it, man. But I think I'm pretty good at letting go of things. What do you think, Nathan? I'm a good letter goer.
Do I think you're good at letting things go?
Let it go.
Well, yeah, also a good language.
Actually, yeah. The more I get to know you, you have a reputation that precedes you, and I love that you have that reputation because I get to know you. I get to be with you on a regular basis and learn and grow and all the things. So, whatever that I just love that you keep doing what you do.
You were complimenting me earlier for cussing at you. Normally, you wouldn't have done that a year ago.
Oh hell no! I would have walked. I quit? Didn't I? Like the first week, second week or something?
Yeah, the older we get, the more mature we get, the more knowledgeable, the more wise we get, the more we catch up to our peers and our elders. That's what that is, man. Like Jordan over here, he's thinking, what are they talking about, man? What do you mean get that to, man?
Jordan, how's he gonna get laid tonight?
Jordan. Don't now, Nathan. We're trying to keep it clean. Year in, we've done good all year. I got Debbie listening. We're gonna keep it kind of clean. But after this show, come see me, Jordan. I'll give you some pointers, man. But I can't let my secrets out on air because I can't sell them out.
I can tell you one secret: the women are better out here than they are in jail.
Yeah.
That would be true, but coming from you, that's kind of odd.
Well, yeah.
You don't like recovery relationships. Let's leave it at that. You'll love them, then you'll learn to hate them. Then you'll be, what have I done? And then it's a cycle you go through over and over and over. Jamie, why haven't you been on the show? That's got to be. Hey, we got to get Jamie on the show one day.
I thought, yeah.
And we'll have a word count. We'll have to limit his wordage.
Oh shit.
So there you go again, man. Hey, Jamie, you got it. But next show we do, I'm going to see to it you're on it, man. We love Jamie. He's a wonderful dude. Jamie Christopher Baker. Great guy. Every organization should have one. Although you did dump ice cold water on me. I really don't appreciate that, man.
What happened?
I don't know, man. Jamie just said, hey, would you like us to dump water on you? Raise some money for VAR? I said, sure. We did okay that day, I thought.
I think I agree with Jamie on
Speak up, boy.
having some people go back to jail for 24 hours to remind them what they
Daggone
appreciate
right.
today.
I would love to have the ability to have you guys have a choice to stay clean or a choice to go back to jail for a touch-up.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that's a wonderful tool to have. Unfortunately, they don't
Sometimes you got to do both.
sometimes both, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great tool. I don't think jail should be the cure-all, end-all for addiction, but it damn sure helps change some minds quick.
Mhm.
Real quick.
I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah, but then again, Jamie, if we put recovering people in charge of the recovery system, we wouldn't have near, the size of the criminal justice system we got, or these other special interest industries. I think there lies the problem. We got to be about money, I guess, man. Somehow we got to become a special interest.
Now, how do you do that?
I have no idea. I've done it by now if I'd have figured that out. It's hard to sell something you give away. It's hard to give money to get somewhere when you're doing so much good. I just don't know. I ain't got the answer to everything.
Well, that's what the guys last week were saying is like being able to kind of come up with a unified professional, presentation on Capitol Hill in the same way. Planned Parenthood, NRA, same way all those people are taken seriously. Why isn't recovery taking it seriously?
I just think the stigma, and then end of the day, stigma is
It's
still strong.
insurmountable.
Well, it's hard when the media is against you.
Yeah.
The media, they think they're on your side, but they don't realize half of their media reporting makes everything worse.
Mhm.
It's kind of like they pouring salt on the wound. Now, if we had accurate, truthful, consistent media coverage on the recovery epidemic, on how cool recovery is and how good the recovery high is, if we had commercials really explaining the recovery high instead of the drug and the alcohol commercials, we're fighting that. We don't have those budgets. I heard once where, don't quote me exactly on the numbers, but, $500 million a year is used on lobbying, for these products, goods, and services that are killing us. Yet we don't, as a nation, spend $5 million a year, trying to lobby good policies for recovery and addiction. So, we got issues in those departments. Yes, honestly, we do commercials.
We do.
Yeah, we do them all the time. McShin commercials.
Really?
Man, you guys are a lively bunch today. I think George over here up in his head, man.
I saw a commercial for NA the other day. It was more
Yeah,
like a
cool
PSA.
public service announcement.
Yeah.
I love them. Years ago, we used to do them. We did them a lot, but there again, consistent messaging is important. And I know McShin does a really good job at consistent positive messaging.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we got the award-winning podcast. Thank you, Alex and Nathan and Todd. I mean,
I would even argue though. I would even argue that maybe nobody outside. I don't even know if it's correct grammar, but no one outside of recovery really knows what recovery is.
Yeah.
And
some do. Some of the family members whose children are recovering, they get it. But you're right, mainstream.
I would consider family though in recovery because they're in recovery along with the individuals that are in recovery. But on a broader scale, if we're only like 7% of the nation, maybe that may be why our voices are so small. So we just got to beat the drum a little louder. So.
Jamie, you said we need to get a stigma event together that has all the right people invited and the right media watching that we notice. Maybe we need a TV show to follow us. Well, Jamie, here lies the problem. People want to buy drama and chaos. People really don't want to buy simple quality recovery. But McShin, we've been doing events for 16 straight years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've done hundreds of events. We've had the right people. We've had national media coverage. We've had politicians out the butt here. I mean, we do that consistently. And the more consistent we all do that, the slower, we can get the stigma reduced. But when we stop doing these events, then we got to start all over again. But you're right, Jamie. We do a lot of events. Remember, you're kind of new to the dance here, so you really don't know what we've been doing for 16 years. We got 2 hallways of coverage, media coverage and whatnot. But see, every day, like take the COVID for example, every day, all day long, COVID, and they got, they abandoned policies and threw money at it. Well, if they did that to recovery, if every day they had recovery, if they abandoned policies and threw money at it, Man, this stuff goes away. 50% reduction within 12 months, the impact addiction has on our community. Plain and simple, hands down. Guaranteed. But that would mean a 50% reduction in criminal justice size. A lot of these public safety agencies would be reduced. A lot of these, anybody that's making money off addiction, making money off black markets, legal money, which is, probably 20% of our economic engine in America. People, they're just not ready for that. They're going to take money and profits over what's right every day of the week, man. And they're going to justify it, rationalize it, and make it okay. And that's what we see in our society today. So people like us, you young guys, Jordan, 22 years old, man, you got 50 years worth of advocacy in front of you. You chase advocacy like you chase your drug dealer, you ain't going to miss, Plus, you'll be a legend one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, legend with the bad neck tattoo, man. I love it, man.
Gold teeth.
We'll get that covered up. We'll put a nice Marine Corps tattoo on his neck, man.
Ooh.
Followed up with Army soldiers on each end holding on. Might get a sailor on the back. You guys are funny today, man.
Well, we're keeping up with what is being put up here. So the truth is, Jamie says, the truth is that people won't listen to what recovery is until it hits home for them. And I agree with you, Jamie, but I do think it's also incumbent upon us in the recovery community to define what recovery is, to not let others define who we are. And I'm defining what recovery means for me, with help from other people, obviously. But when I define recovery for other people outside of recovery, right?
Have Tattoo tell us his story, man. he can't go into detail, Jamie, because there's a lot of stuff he can't talk about on the air, man. Everything from sexcapades to drug deals to things he had to do. And
Jail time.
And I come to the conclusion Jordan loves jail food, man.
Hell no.
Hell no. Man.
Jesus bread and sweat meat, huh?
And he loves the relationship material that they got in jail, man.
No.
Well, then why do you keep going, man?
It's hard out here.
It's hard, ain't it? It's hard to be responsible.
What's hard?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, quick. We don't like dead air time.
Doing things other people's way.
Doing things other people's way.
I'm so used to doing things my way.
Okay,
how's your way working?
Your way is jail food and jail boyfriends.
Nah.
Our way is recovery living,
And real boyfriends.
relationships.
Positive bank accounts.
I mean, I ate chili dog today. I didn't eat what they served me, man.
Recovery's attractive, man. If they had a camera over there in the recovery house that I'm living at, and when we're playing spades, we still play spades and everything like that. But it's attractive. We cook together, we eat together, we laugh together, we tell each other, we cry together, and we do everything together, and it's amazing, man.
You go out back and have a nice little fire on a cold night.
Yeah.
And smoke cigarettes and cigars around the fire.
Yeah.
Can't do that in that pod.
A real cigarette, not a boofed cigarette. A real
Yeah.
cigarette.
No,
Did you? When was the last time you ate a swole?
Kelly, you're right, man. A documentary on recovery rather than sober living. A real one, though, not that Hollywood drama. That would be awesome.
real life recovery.
Yeah. We've done a few trailer films. We've done some good, cool stuff here. We've had producers and directors come from all over the country do some sizzle reels out of McShin. And it's just, Netflix, they want the next best drama, man. They just want something. And I think a lot of the shows you see centered around recovery, some of them, they got a twist on them that I'm not proud of. Some of them are pretty cool, but some of them aren't. So, you will see mainstream recovery in, big TV, big, miniseries and documentary. You're going to see a lot more of that. It's coming. There's a cool one out now we're supposed to screen here. Somebody out on the West Coast made a pretty cool movie about a woman that helped a lot of people. We'll do a screen. So there is some stuff out there. We just need more. Every night of the week there's a crime drama, show on TV. We need a recovery show. A few of them to choose from. When they start winning Oscars, that I guess when we know we've arrived.
Well, what this tells me is that it's important for us to continue to tell our stories in a meaningful way, and not just for the cameras, but like when I go to the store and I'm talking to people, when I talk to my landlord because I pay my rent and I have a house, that I rent, I talk to my landlord about recovery and what that means to me. When I talk to my family, I talk about recovery. When I talk to my doctors, I talk about recovery. So we are the walking documentaries. Nobody wants to watch a show about me paying my taxes and living my life, like I'm supposed to do and doing the things, but like I'm happy today,
Well, Jamie just reminded that they doing some documentary work as we speak in some places here, but I'm not going to blow your cover, Jamie. But Debbie, you're right, man. You have seen some progress. We've seen some stigma reduction progress, and we're going to keep seeing more. And I'm very proud of McShin, the way we stepped up during COVID and we kept this content rolling and going. But I will remind our listeners, there's a great documentary out there, The Anonymous People by Greg Williams. That's always a favorite on a snowy day to watch it. We'll have to show that to you one day. One day. We made that an Inside Hope. Todd got a great video we shot of RSW jail, the work we do up there, the reentry process. And, I keep telling Todd, let's make some more, man, while you're here. Instead of doing what Todd wants to do, how about what McShin wants you to do, man? I mean, what a concept.
Honesty had a comment up there that said, because I made the comment about beating the drum, and she said,
keep on beating.
Or
get to beating.
Get to beating Todd. But this is where punctuation comes into play.
Punctuation.
Beating Todd.
Because,
that sounds like a dictionary word or a Google word, man.
As you read this,
I'm gonna look it up on Urban Dictionary.
There should be a comma there, because otherwise you guys are going to start ganging up on me just beating in studio.
Urban Dictionary. What do you call that word?
Punctuation.
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 Punk. P.
Punk.
Punk.
How you spell
Jordan knows that.
P-U-N-C-K. Punctuation.
No K.
P-U-N-C.
T-U-A.
U-A-T-I-O-N.
Yes, sir.
I love Urban Dictionary. Let's see here. It says.
Do you get their word of the day calendar? I feel like that'd be something up your alley.
Oh,
Right here.
yeah, I see it. It says words I can't use, though. Is a key part of everyday writing. Otherwise, the phrase, I helped my uncle. I can't even read it, man. It's so bad. I mean, come on.
Honestly, you're going to have to close your ears.
Oftentimes, punctuation is critically lacking online, not to mention spelling. Oh, hey, yeah, I got it. Something about jacking a horse, though. I mean,
all right.
Come on, man. You set me up.
That was not what I was implying by it.
Jamie, best way you can reach people in jail is go and get sentenced, man. Do a little time up in there and make some real friends, man.
Hey, I 12 step somebody that was in jail. They're
That's
here right
why you're
now.
there. God got a plan when you go to jail,
Yeah.
Joel. Next time you go back, carry that message of hope, my brother.
Yeah.
Don't reconnect with dope. Carry hope. Alex, what are you doing, man? Checking your vapor?
I'm thinking.
No, then we're in trouble. Nathan's happy.
Well, John, you keep we talk about stigma all the time on this show,
Stigma.
and
Can I get
we
an
talk
F?
about the anonymous people and the importance of is it possible, even to begin with, for me to recover in anonymity while breaking stigma at the exact same time?
Well,
'Cause that's why people- that's the
whole
main
purpose of the
obstacle
film,
to-
man. The whole purpose of the film was
Yeah.
that 23 million Americans in recovery, 23 million Americans need recovery, and another 50 million Americans that are family members. That's 100 million people. We should be talking about the benefits of recovery every single day, all day long. So when these little kids grow up, they will know that it's okay if you got a problem to go get help. I mean, that's the kids ain't asking. They're not being trained to ask. That's one thing I hate about prevention. It's always shame on you, bad on you. Don't do this, don't do that. They don't say, hey, look, 10% of you going to get addiction one day. And when you do, this is what help's going to look like. And you go get it. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So that's where it begins. We got to educate our kids that, you reduce stigma in kids. When they grow up to be adults, there won't be no more stigma. Plain and simple. And we got 300-400 years worth of stigma items on which to reflect on and what it takes to make mass change in this country. So stigma begins with the kids and the parents of those kids. So, I mean, when I was a kid, we had Smokey the Bear, and we had this one commercial where a Native American was rowing a canoe in the Pittsburgh River, and it was like burning on fire, and the pollution was so bad. But the kids after me were raised to save the world, save the planet, don't litter, be nice to animals, be nice to Mother Nature, so we got roadmaps on how to do this. We just aren't doing it for addiction or substance use disorders.
Right.
And
Yeah, I mean, you look at like I think that's a great example. My little brother and his generation don't smoke cigarettes because of the Truth campaign.
Yeah, and like my daughter, they recycle.
Yeah.
What is that? I mean, so they learn don't litter, you recycle, you take care of the planet. And there's other illnesses. Like I remember breast cancer. I had 4 sisters and a mother. And, they didn't talk about breast cancer growing up. But now you see women, wearing T-shirts,
The NFL goes pink.
Yeah.
The entire month.
So there's other illnesses that got great models. Modeling is what it's called. We can model after, and we try to, but there always seems to be funding, donors, certain advertisers don't want it on the stuff they pretty much own. Certain media outlets won't talk about it because it interferes with their advertisers and their special interests. So a lot of work to do all the way around, man.
Sure, and plus the infighting between the different factions inside the recovery movement. We talk about anonymity versus being out with our stories, and my anonymity to me means I am not a representative of the 12-step fellowship. So I don't discuss.
Recovery people got a lot of shortcomings.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a great example. So some people who think, oh, I'm entitled to my anonymity. Some people who are like MAT isn't recovery. Some people who are like jail time isn't recovery. I mean, there's a consistent lines in the sand that are drawn.
Set of shortcomings.
Yeah.
Defects at work.
So like, do we all have to come to an agreement on the fact that like jail time counts, MAT counts, or are people just going to be, old heads and non-progressive
it's
forever?
Pretty sad we can't agree that, recovery should be the epidemic, not substance use disorders, That's a good starting point.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think we do a great job mending fences, building coalitions, collaboration. I mean, but you got to remember we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
One person's ceiling might be another person's roof, or floor. So Patrick, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I'm just trying. I'm actually on the kids thing still, and I mean, I'm trying to go back into my childhood where it was just a chapter in health class. I mean, and it was passed over that quickly. Really, I didn't grow up with addict parents. I didn't grow up knowing what alcohol was, what drugs were, and once it took a hold of me and I started doing these things, it's like I didn't know what to do about it. It just went downhill real quick, so I went into hiding.
Yeah, well, I think they should let me do middle school drug education classes. Now we'll have some language
Absolutely.
issues.
Come in there.
I totally agree.
But for an old guy, I believe I could rattle some cages and at least have them chasing down recovery when they get there.
Yeah.
At least
I
knowing
believe
what
you
to
too.
do when that happens, instead of like signing a piece of paper that says I'll never do drugs again so I can get a free pizza. Like that's just a platform that doesn't
heck of a
fucking
motivator
work.
for
Just
kids.
say no.
Yeah.
Sarah, you got a good point. Mental health in general, shaming and blaming, misery. Stop. Yeah, we get it, but good Lord, Sarah, we got a lot of different categories within the mental health realm, and just by nature, the people we deal with and the issues that they bring to the game. We in our own circle. If you look back at the history, you take AA for example, and then NA got started because the addicts were discriminated against in the alcohol meetings, and the shaming and blaming that took place back then, like my disease is better than your disease, and then and there's a continuation of that. But fortunately, I'll give SAMHSA a lot of credit. About 15 years ago, they really picked up on that, and that's when they sort of went down that multiple pathways of recovery, honor and respect anybody, whatever pathway you're on, so forth and so on. And, overall, that's a really good thing. But I do think there's such a thing as, trying to be over politically correct on some of these things, because, I'm very proud of my clean time. But like I said, I don't want that to mean anybody's other recoveries any less than mine. It's just the language that suits me and my fellowship, So, that's why I think we need these pathways. I would love to see someone be more vocal, more outgoing, more open. because I think there's a lot of legitimacy to a lot of these pathways too.
Well, John, that's part of like what I was asking earlier is like, is there a foundational difference between how you recover and how you advocate for recovery? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
like, so you're clearly not anonymous in your own recovery,
Right.
but I feel like I have to respect that other people want to.
Yeah, Debbie, how we catch these folks upstream before it's a problem? Well, Debbie, the starting point is catching the people that want to be caught first. Meaning, if you ask for help, we need the capacity to be there to help those people, and that's where we're going to create our capacity, catching the rest of them upstream. But I love going to correctional programs and facilities and starting programs and really being that hope shot that the guys and girls need in there. So I think if we invest a lot of time and energy and resources in the captive audiences, I guarantee you, man, we can really catch a lot of those people. But these kids, these prevention programs in grade school, middle school, high school, we have got to retool our prevention efforts in those areas too, because you can catch a lot of those folks too before they get going good. Folks, I got to bail out here personally because I got a 3 o'clock Zoom that Nathan here is actually in charge of. But I think I'm going to just duck out here. Nathan will be ducking out shortly because he needs to prepare for the 3 o'clock meeting. But Alex and Jordan and excuse me, Patrick, y'all can roll here at least till 3 o'clock. Till we need the Zoom bandwidth at 3 o'clock.
There's always
So,
priorities. And
gang,
precedents.
Happy New Year. I guess I'll see y'all, hear from y'all next year, if not sooner. And it's always a pleasure to be on the show, man.
John, thanks for
Y'all
joining
tear
us,
it up.
man.
Yeah,
Thank you, John.
Really appreciate you, man.
I'm gonna go turn it on, but I want no dead mic time.
Don't
now.
dead mic time
No
here.
dead air.
Can't pay the bill around.
Well, it's. I'm gonna squeeze through this microphone. I like this microphone. It's got after hours.
You can come sit with me, Jordan.
I'm not scaring you, am I, Jordan? So I'm glad John brought that up as he was leaving here. So the Recovery Advocacy Project, the Virginia Recovery Advocacy Project, is meeting today at 3 o'clock, and many of you stalwart. That's your word of the day. Stalwart.
Is that on Urban Dictionary as well?
It may be on Urban Dictionary. I don't think you should look it up though.
Probably something completely
Probably.
worse.
Don't ever use the Urban Dictionary in place of Webster's. I don't know why he didn't go there.
I'm sorry. Don't use anything other than the Oxford English Dictionary.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to be very snobby about this. That is what you want to use. It is also good for beating somebody upside the head because
I
it's
speak
big.
American, not English.
True story. I use the word "oi" all the time, or at least I used to anyway. And everybody said, or not everybody, but one person asked me, said, "Wait, are you Jewish?" And I said, "Well, as a matter of fact, no, I'm not. Why would you say that?" And it's like, "Well, because you say oi." I said, "Well, I'm also not English."
It was like Australian or whatever. I don't know. Boy, mate.
Oi. Well, oi is, but anyway. The Virginia Recovery Advocacy Project is meeting today at 3 o'clock. It is an open listening session for all people interested in joining the recovery advocacy movement. We're discussing issues that are pertinent to Virginia right now, right here. January 13th, the General Assembly starts its shortened 30-day session, and we will be advocating for a lot of things going forward, but we have a lot of things that are going to be put into the pipeline that we can do right away to help in the recovery community. So it's also important because next year is an election year for the entire House of Delegates and for the Attorney General, the Lieutenant Governor, and the Governor. So we have some big changes next year that are going to happen. This is where our voices get heard. This is why, we talk about the anonymous people, and I think about anonymity in the 12-step fellowships, and I understand I don't represent a 12-step fellowship, and I never will say that I do. That to me is very, very important. And my recovery goes beyond a 12-step fellowship. So I would think anybody, actually, I won't speak for other people. My personal recovery personally demands that I use more than a 12-step fellowship, and I do, and I get fairly decent results. I'm happy, and I'm not out there using one day at a time, and that's a really freaking awesome thing. I also get to help people on a daily basis. So I continue to learn how to tell my story, and I continue to help empower others to tell their story. Because when we tell our story, really we're telling stories about, getting over things, but we're telling stories about, getting back into society and becoming acceptable, responsible, productive members of that society. Those aren't the drama-filled nonsense stories that you want to put on TV all the time necessarily, which, that's a good thing to me. I don't want to watch stories about crazy. I know crazy. I lived crazy. I participated and encouraged crazy when I was in active addiction. Today, I participate and encourage calm and serenity. And these are things that I aspire to, quieting my mind and living a more peaceful and relaxed life. And some might even consider that boring. I don't care. At the end of the day, I get to go home and I get to say, this is what I did really well today. And, this is what I effed up. And I get to get up in the morning and make a decision to stay, sober one more day, and actually say, hey, what can I do today to improve on what I effed up yesterday? Some days I actually do improve on. Some days I don't. But you know what? I get to do the process over one more time. So if you want to join that conversation, Todd has graciously put that comment in the link to that comment in the I don't know. There we go. In the
There you go.
It's actually in the comments.
Thank
so
you.
People can click on it directly. They can register through the Bitly link,
Nice.
and that'll take you right for the 3 o'clock. So it's at 3 o'clock today. Make sure you register ASAP. So
and actually with that, I am gonna dip out.
You gonna roll bounce?
I am, because we got 15 minutes before that starts, and
Get prepared.
I want to go. Maybe use the restroom, get
We'll catch
myself
up with the newbies
right on.
and then see you along.
And feel free,
Thank you for joining us,
Pat,
Nathan.
Awesome,
Jordan,
man.
if you want to pop in over there and sit and listen to the chatter, if you
That's
want
good
to
advice.
after
Sure,
that.
yeah,
Come-
no.
yeah, and Alex too, of course. And Todd.
Play a little bit of Jeopardy later.
Yeah, we'll play. Well, we'll play Jeopardy after the.
In the middle of the conference.
Computer, play Jeopardy. Oh gosh, I wonder.
You're
if
not on mute.
All right, peace out, brothers and sisters. I will see you all later.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, Nathan.
Thanks for joining us, Nathan. Man, that was awesome. Yeah, one thing you did bring up, Nathan, and you can go do your thing. I know you're busy, but one thing that I aspired to do when I was in early recovery was just wake up to a cup of coffee. Like, it may seem like silly and little, and like it wouldn't matter to anybody, but I was so sick and tired of waking up, like having to do certain things to get the next one in my life.
Mhm.
Like, I just
Yeah,
what?
and it's not Kiwi coffee.
And not, yeah, exactly. Not some instant Kiwi coffee. That's
Mhm.
terrible. But
Yeah, that was one of the weirdest parts. Like when I was in jail, that like the closest I felt to being at home was doing a crossword puzzle, drinking a cup of coffee.
yeah,
with
Kiwi's
like,
was important.
yeah, and that's like the weird thing is I don't even drink coffee like that often, but it just gave me some sort of semblance of not being alone.
Yeah.
Or in jail is kind of just like at peace.
Yeah, I can totally relate. I did the Sudoku puzzles in the back or
Mhm.
whatever, and I don't read the newspaper anymore, but it was nice because it gave me a sense of actually being out in the community again, which, I mean, it's like the little things that matter when you're in there, like,
Mhm.
I don't know, anything that resembles home.
Well, I also think that that's like what making my bed does for me too.
Yeah.
So like I didn't every single day because sometimes you sleep very sporadically when you're locked up.
Mhm.
But I tried to make my bed every morning. Even not living in housing, I still make my bed every morning. And it's kind of like my little gratitude check with my higher power real quick. Is that something that is very similar to your experience with, having a cup of coffee, eating breakfast? I mean, I feel like everyone has certain rituals throughout
yeah.
their day that whether they even call it that, like a gratitude check or a connection with a higher power, is just like, I do this. Maybe I can't even explain to you why I do it, but I do it.
Yeah.
Do you still have those things?
Oh, I definitely do. And I mean, I guess I call it something different. It's the same thing. I call it grounding. I mean, it grounds me in my recovery that I can do these things, like make a bed. I always do the same thing in the morning. I wake up, I go before I make my bed. Actually, I will admit that I go get some coffee and then I come back up to bed, make it. And then I do a little writing and just reflecting. And
Cool.
Really something that became more important to me than anything was having a notebook and a pen. And I mean, I made sure I was the pen guy. Like I got your pens, bro. Because it pulled me out
of where I was. So, and that was important to me. And it is now. It pulls me out of where I am. It pulls me out of my head and gets me to reflect on how I'm feeling, what my goals are, what I'm trying to accomplish for that day. Even down to the minuscule things like, I'm going to go buy some broccoli today for today's dinner. Like that, I accomplished something, and that's important to me. It gives me that little bit of, it's a dopamine hit, kind of. I mean,
Sure.
really, I did something good. And with the bed thing, I get to come back to a neat place, something that's organized.
And it's good, especially in your position, because you've recently gained a little bit of responsibility at that house in a very short time. So people watch how you operate and say, that's how I'm supposed to do shit around here.
Isn't that a trip, man? I get out of jail in 2 weeks. I'm a house manager.
And you got some responsibility because you walk the walk, you talk the talk, and I've seen that around here a lot. Like when I came in, I was a house leader after like 3 weeks because I was coachable. I went to groups and I was positive. Like that's and there was an opportunity for it. It's not like that stuff doesn't. A lot of times people think it's given to you, but it's stuff that you earn.
Yeah.
That's a role and a responsibility in which you can help other people. How do you feel about it? Is it intimidating? Is it scary? Do you even think about it often? Like what has, I don't know, this newfound role given you?
This last time, okay, so this is not the first time I've been to McShin. This is actually the third time I've been to McShin. The first time I needed a more clinical edge to things, so I went and did that. I came back the second time on bond, and I needed to go to jail, and that's hence the 2 years. And I came back, and so this time, let me rewind. Last time they offered me the position, and immediately, yes. I mean, without even thinking twice about it, yes. And it was an ego trip, and I'm not going to lie about that. Like it gave me my power back, right?
Control.
Yeah,
I get to control other people again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you go here. I became the director, of the puppet show, right? This time I told the people that asked me, and I was very grateful that they saw in me that I'm hungry. I'm hungry for this recovery thing, man, and I gotta eat. And that's how I tell it to people. It's like, I'm gonna eat, man. I'm gonna get my recovery. I'm gonna talk to people. I'm gonna do everything that's suggested of me, even if I don't really like doing it. And most of the time, I don't like doing it. But it beats the alternative. But this time, I asked my sponsor. I'm part of a 12-step group, so I have a sponsor, and I utilized them. I asked him. I asked other people in recovery what they thought about it. They asked me, do a pros and cons for it, and the pros outweighs the cons
because it's like stuff that, like that exact answer. Do a pros and cons list. It's something that always crossed my mind, and I'd be like, that's so corny.
It really is,
you know what
right?
I'm saying? But it works.
It does. And I never thought about doing that. And that's why I utilize a simple, like asking people, because I don't think about that kind of thing. It may seem rudimentary, but it's not. Like I don't, in my everyday life, think of, well, let's do a pros and cons list.
Well, I think things that are corny and cliche are that way for a reason.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So you've been here for over a little over a week now. We checked in with you last week.
Yep.
I want to know, before we wrap up, what did you learn in the last week?
Ooh.
So you weren't an assistant house leader last week, and now you are.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Give me some things that you learned in the last week.
I'm sorry, guys, but y'all are like herding cats, man.
Oh, you're herding cats?
You're herding cats, man. But cats that like to do heroin. Yeah. So I mean, but man, it's so rewarding, honestly, to see these guys grow, and I'm growing along with them. So it's like people coming out of their shells. We got a new guy that came in a couple days ago, and he didn't talk. He was quiet. He didn't want to share in groups or nothing. And he's really he started singing the other day. I mean, it's seeing those little simple things that make it worth it.
Yeah. The more and more time I spend with him, the more he comes out of his shell.
Yeah.
And the fact that the house has kind of rallied around bringing each other out of their shell is something that I don't see with a lot of groups of people. A lot of groups that I've seen at that house is stay in my lane, try to get some tail, make sure I don't go back to jail. Like those are the three priorities in reverse order. You know what I'm saying? And
we still have those priorities, but at the same time, we got a little bit more too.
But what I've seen with the group that you've helped and that's at that house right now, it's make sure that we all of us like stay clean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen y'all look out for each other in a way that I don't see a lot of groups in that house, and it's beautiful to see and watch you be a part of. And you know, Kevin does a good job over there too.
Kevin's amazing.
So it's not like, you know, and again, the thing is, you know, it is a group of people. So it's not, you know, a house leader and assistant house leader coming down on everyone else and then everyone rallying around. Y'all all hold each other accountable on a basis, like a daily basis, and if not hourly basis. Like that's what's cool is you don't have to have a title or some sort of like given responsibility to be responsible.
No.
Is that what you've?
Absolutely. I get called on my BS all the time. And I ask them, I mean, I encourage them to do it because that's what I need. I mean, I'm still a person in recovery too. Like this isn't, you know, I didn't get elected into a position or anything like that. I mean, this is a mutual thing. It's very real. I could die too, just as well as somebody else could in the house. But that's why, you know, I love the guys I'm with. They are my family, and I will keep up with them, hopefully, for a long time to come. So, I mean, that's important, man. Yeah. Call me on my BS. Please do.
Please, yeah.
You too. Like, if you see me in the hallway and like,
I still need to be held accountable all the time, man. And I hold myself accountable more than other people might. And that comes with my disease. So, last thing is what is your we might do another one of these next week. Is that the game plan, Todd?
Yeah, actually, so when we first started this with the newcomers to the foundation, we basically were following them for 4 weeks. So
like a check-in every week.
Today kind of got hijacked. And
it is what it is. It's cool.
And it went out, you know. So next week, you know, we'll do a third one.
Good.
You know, next week, and then the following week.
Good.
You know, we'll do a follow-up. But yeah, so
yeah. So I guess what I wanted to ask now is I might not ask this every week, but what's your game plan going forward? Are you planning on staying for 2 years? Are you planning on staying for 28 days and bouncing? Like, what's the future look like for you right now, Pat?
Taking it easy, man. I wish I could answer that question, but I'm kind of rolling with the punches right now. I'm a firm believer that God's going to put in my path what I need to have in my path. So, you know, I'll cross that bridge when I can get it. You know, obviously I want all the cool stuff like the car, the house, the girlfriend, you know, I want custody of my son back, like all those things, but God will give me those things when I am ready.
So for now, there are no plans on leaving.
Not really.
Okay.
I like McShin. Y'all all right.
There you go. You're all right, man.
Y'all are good with me.
We're just a group of people like made of yous and different versions of you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love this place. So yeah, I look forward to wrapping up next week or continuing next week.
For sure.
This did kind of get away from us, but I'm glad that we got to spend some quality time together.
Yeah.
That was nice, even if it is on a podcast. Todd, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for everything.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you for coming on again, Pat. Thank you to Nathan, John, Jordan. It's really, really beautiful having this many people just laughing around the table. It's cool to watch. So this has been Getting the Herd. Peace out.
Here at McShin, we believe in the McShin way, which is authentic recovery support service providers, people with lived experience, bringing that experience to those who need that lived experience in recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in many things to support our mission. We believe in women empowerment.
What I love most about what we believe here at McShin is we believe in the authenticity of the peer-to-peer approach.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in giving people opportunity.
Here at McShin, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person.
At the McShin Foundation, we believe in helping people reach their full potential.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in multiple pathways to recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in placing principles before personalities to help spread hope.
Here at McShin, we believe that recovery is possible and that any person seeking recovery can become a more acceptable, responsible, and productive member of society.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in self-discovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in saving lives and offering second chances.
Here at McShin, we believe you can do this.
Here at McShin Foundation, we believe that we can only keep what we have by giving away, which is why we continue to help others like us seek and find recovery.
We'll get there soon. We'll get there soon. We could be any place. We'll get there soon. We'll get there soon.